Hey, so late night again. Um, I'm just chilling in my room. So I just thought I just had some video ideas, but I wasn't really sure what I was to title them, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna sit down and talk. My new stuffy here, Toddles. My sister got him for me. Look at him, he's so cute. With my Batman blanket and my owl mug, and let's talk. I think I'm gonna call this Little Space Talk with Jasper. Bite me. Uh, so I was gonna do a video on how I deal with myself as a little, and I was gonna title it How Littles Are or something. And I was like, wait, not all littles can um relate to that. So I just felt like I would sit down and be in little space and talk for real. so so me as a little, I I honestly have, since I've been out and getting more into little space, um I've 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 came into some bumps in the road. I'm independently working at a local franchise, and I've I usually am, when I go to my graphic design class, they're pretty chill there, so I can usually, like, all my friends there are pretty, like, supportive and blah blah blah. I usually have fun there, so I go into little space. Have fun. We jump around. We do work. When we do work, it's pretty laid back, you know. Often, without me knowing, I go into little space. Um, and I go right after my college classes. I go into work, and within an hour span, it's hard for me to snap out of little space. And I've run into bumps where I went from straight from my college class straight into work, and when I'm in little space, I guess my little self is, you can say, I cry when I'm under stress in little space, and it has caused me it has caused me to, on those days, caused me to break down at work and cry in front of my coworkers. And some of my coworkers are actually really supportive. They don't know I'm a little, but they get that I do have my own social issues, you know, as in anxiety and those issues. And I usually do step out of my workspace, and I go into the restroom, have my moment, and de-stress, and then step back. And that moment snaps me out of little space. But there was some instances where I did have to go home because I was so stressed, and I guess it was put way too stress put upon me in that moment, and I felt really bad at that moment for going home during that work, but um, it was needed. Um, as I look at it as when I'm my older self, I look at it as, why did I go home? I was like, I could have, snapped out of it. But I also need to look upon it as, I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. We all have our days that some people can and cannot snap out of that easily, go into one space into another. Being in little space in high school, it's tough, but not too tough. Like when I'm around my friends, they just little space. They're entertaining, so I'm just like, I just like to listen and just sit there as a little and go, ooh, okay. And often when I do get picked on when I'm in little space, I don't get picked on. It's not necessarily picking on. People people make their judgments at me. You can say that, judgments. Their remarks. Uh, their remarks and their opinions. As soon as someone says something like that towards me, it automatically snaps me out of little space, and I do get angry. But my friends, like I said, my very supportive and genius friends are always there to make me realize that those other people are immature and irritable. Like at tech, at my college classes, we have we're digital graphics, and then we have those cosmetology girls downstairs, and they're in high school as well, and they're very rude. Well, not some of them, but some of them, not all of them, but some of them are very rude, and they will make some very rude remarks that, like, not towards me mostly, but towards my friends at tech, and um, it angers me, and my friends are like, okay, it's fine, we don't mind, you shouldn't mind, and that does snap me out a little space, and just anytime someone says a remark, or like certain people in my tech class make remarks at my friends. Not all of us in our class get along, not all people do. Or like at my main school, there's certain people, I don't think there's certain people, but there's certain people who pick on my friends who irritate me. And as soon as they pick on my friends, I get angry at that. And my friends always know how to knock me back into little space. Most of the time, when I say my little space is when I'm ever really, really happy. I'm smiling and I'm listening to you. I'm just in a really good mood and I'm just really relaxed. That's me in little space. And that's how I usually am around my friends. And when I'm not put upon stress. As soon as I'm angry, I snap out a little space, or when I think I need to get out of little space, like when I feel responsible, that's when I come out of little space. Or here's another thing, if you see me getting really, really upset, or I start crying, and which is very seldom, or I feel extremely stressed, pretty much when I feel extremely stressed and I cry, then I do go into little space, which is very seldom, but it happens more often nowadays. But that's due to my own self, no one else. yeah, just certain things does make you go into little space, you know. Ooh, this video is getting long. You know, just certain things do make people go into little space, and others need to be aware if they know that they're a little and need to know aware. And like my friends don't know I'm a little, but I guess they know my emotions or are aware of me as a person to snap me out of those instances and put me back in that mood, I guess. They don't know what to call that mood, which is called little space. Um, but hey, they're my friends, and well, this is the first subject, I guess, of this little column I will call Little Talks with Jasper. This is about emotion popping out of little space, I guess.